What is going on, my Concise Conversation family? I hope you guys are all doing well today on this fine May 10th. I'm doing well. I'm on campus just getting some things done, going about my day. So I wanted to come on here and record a video for you guys about some astrology stuff. This is for my astrology people, but really for everyone, because it affects us all, whether you believe it or not. But I wanted to talk about this thing called Mercury in retrograde, because I know it's a big topic and a very, I feel like, not known about. And also, a lot of people create a lot of panic and fear around it, and I'm here to kind of alleviate all of that, because I think at the end of the day, whatever intention you go into something with is the outcome that you're gonna get. So as a collective, if we all go into Mercury in retrograde with the intention that it's gonna be, hectic, chaotic, something that's scary, of course the outcome that we're gonna get is something that's chaotic and scary, and something unknown. So I'm here to kind of alleviate that and just teach you about the benefits of Mercury in retrograde and what it actually is. So basically what Mercury in retrograde is, and it's better known as Mercury is retrograde, like that's what it is. So if you look at the sky, obviously while we're on Earth, it seems as all the planetary systems or the planetary objects in the sky are moving around us, when in reality we're all moving around the sun. So Mercury retrograded means that in the sky, Mercury seems as if it's going backwards, which is not possible. What it's actually doing is slowing down to the point where it looks like it's going backwards. So that's basically what Mercury in retrograde is. But what Mercury in retrograde actually creates is a change in the way that we think, a change in the way that we do our day-to-day actions, a change in the way that we are perceiving things. And I think, from my own thoughts, why this Mercury in retrograde phenomenon is so scary or so intimidating in a sense, because people fear change, and Mercury in retrograde is all about change, especially when it comes to communication, because Mercury is the planet of communication. Mercury, in history or whatever, is it's the quickest planet. It's known as the messenger god. It's the planet that communicates from the sun to the rest of the planets, or God to the rest of the planets, whatever. So Mercury is all about communication. It's all about intelligence. It's about widening your perspective. And retrograde is kind of that disruption. So when Mercury is in retrograde, we have a disruption in the way that we communicate, or a disruption in the way that we go about our day-to-day life. And I think this is a thing that causes a lot of people to be fearful of Mercury in retrograde, or create this, chaos around what is actually happening. And I think if we go in with the intention of I'm going to take this time to learn more about myself, I'm going to take this time to really reflect on the ways that I communicate, not only with myself but with other people, and reflect on the ways that I go about my day-to-day living, and really, just as Mercury is doing, slow down and be intentional about what it is that you're doing on a day-to-day basis. And because, again, Mercury is the planet of communication, I think this is the perfect time to slow down and realize how we're communicating with other people, and especially ourselves. I think communication is one of the most important things in life. Not only verbal communication, body language, and just all forms of communication. During this time period, we should take the time to reflect on how we use those channels and try to use them in a more positive and beneficial way, not only for us, but for the collective, for humanity as a whole. So I think the purpose of this Mercury in retrograde, and again, it should not be anything scary, it should not be anything fearful. If anything, I feel like it should be a time of reflection and a time of change. And so during this time, I would encourage you to really reflect on the ways that you are communicating with yourself and the ways that you are communicating with other people, and really go in with a strong intention of change and the intention of wanting better. And last thing before I end it, Mercury in retrograde, there's these things called houses, within astrology, and that could be a deeper video. But whatever whatever house or whatever sign that Mercury is retrograding through changes what the consequence, not in a bad way, but what the consequence of the Mercury in retrograde is. So right now, Mercury is retrograding in Mercury within Gemini, and Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So Mercury is retrograding in its home, basically. So because Gemini is also the planet of communication, the planet of just talking and gaining knowledge, because air signs, Gemini is an air sign, and air signs are very intellectual. So because Mercury is retrograding within Gemini, and at the end it will be retrograding through Taurus, but because it is spending a significant time in Gemini, this is the best time to work on your communication skills and work on, again, how you are communicating with yourself and people around you, because this time is going to create a lot of change. Whether we recognize it or feel it or not, this time will create a lot of change and a lot of reflection in the ways that we go about life and we go about communicating with other people. So I would encourage you again to set the intention to go into this Mercury in retrograde. It starts today, May 10th, and it ends somewhere around June 3rd, I believe. So I would say take this time to be intentional about your communication skills and be intentional about the way that you go about living your day-to-day life. So I hope this cleared up any confusion about Mercury in retrograde. I would definitely encourage you to do your own research as well. But I hope you guys are doing well, and I will talk to you later. Peace out.